Hi, this is Rob with ALTA Tax Relief, and I wanted to follow up from my video earlier this week that really dealt with current compliance with the IRS. One of the things I had mentioned is before you can even really start resolving your tax debt, you need to file an admitted returns and you need to make sure you're paying current taxes owed. The IRS website has a phenomenal amount of different resources available to you. And while you might not believe it, one of the big things that the IRS is required to do by law is to educate taxpayers about tax procedures, tax laws, and various things like that. And the thing is, it's always my go-to website whenever I'm helping a client because there's so many different resources on there. One of the things that the IRS has done nowadays is they actually have it that you can actually create your own account with them. So you can really go in there and look at certain tax information and things like that. Even if you don't owe the IRS money, it's a really good idea to do that because then if you ever have any questions about something, instead of calling the IRS and waiting on hold forever, you could just go online and access your account. Today, however, we're going to go and try to make a payment online, and we're going to type in the box here direct pay. You can actually type this in Google, and it will also basically direct you to this page. Now, right here, you're going to click IRS Direct Pay. What I love about IRS Direct Pay is I don't have to wait for the IRS to process this like a check in the mail. Once you make a payment on here, the IRS gets the money practically immediately. I would say that on transcripts, it might take about 2 to 3 weeks to see them. But if you were actually to call up the IRS within 48 hours, they can normally tell you if the payment has been received. What I really love about it is that you don't have to worry about snail mail. I had a client once who owed about $30,000 in payroll taxes for a business that she used to have. And I was trying to work with her, figuring out how could she repay it. And then all of a sudden, we got this letter from the IRS. The letter from the IRS said, "Oh, we just processed your payment from 3 years ago." So the IRS literally lost her payment for 3 years, finally found it, and applied it towards her back taxes. So the thing to realize is that paying things through this system are much more secure, much faster, and should ensure much better that your payment will show up to the IRS rather than sending it through the mail. So when we go into here, you do have two options for personal taxes or for business taxes. For today, we're just going to deal with individual income taxes. So let's go into pay individual tax. Now, when you come down here, you have to go to make a payment, but you can actually also go and look up prior payments that you've made. This is really great. Like if you've made like estimated tax payments on here for like 2025, now you're going to prepare your return. This is a great place to go and to find the estimated tax payments that the IRS has registered. Now, I'm going to click this button here that says individual tax payment types to show you what you can pay using the system. So right here, if you have a payment plan set up with the IRS and you're not doing automatic bank drafts, you can go and make the monthly payment using this system. It gives you right here the examples of the returns that you could pay on. So you basically got 1040 here. The healthcare form 1040 is when they used to charge that penalty for not having health insurance. And then you have civil penalties. Civil penalties that I've basically seen are going to be trust fund recovery penalty, which deals with payroll taxes. So if you don't have a business and you didn't have payroll taxes, that's not an issue. Or tax preparers actually get charged civil penalties if they prepare a return and they make significant errors, and the IRS determines that they are to be charged a penalty. Some of the penalties they can be charged are in the thousands of dollars. So this system also allows them to make a payment on that type of debt. It also tells you about balance dues. So if you receive a notice and you want to make a payment, you could do it using this system. If you file an extension and you know you're gonna be owing tax, after you file an extension, you can go and make a payment on that through this system. You're going to see down here estimated tax payments, which we're going to deal with today. And then you've got certain notices here. The CP 2000 notice, for instance, is for when it's kind of like a correspondence audit with the IRS. And if you know you're going to owe money, you can pay using this system. If you get audited and you know you're going to owe, you can also use this payment system to make a payment early on, because it takes a while for the IRS to process an audit and to actually get the taxes assessed. By paying it early, you're going to save money on future penalties and interest. If you file an amended return and you know you're going to owe money, you could use this system once again to pay on those taxes that are going to be owed. That'll save you money on penalties and interest. If you file an offer with the IRS, you can pay the $205 offer application fee on here. You can pay the 20% lump sum payment. Some IRS offers can be paid over a 1 or 2 year period after acceptance. This is the way to make those payments. And then once you have an accepted offer, you can make your payments on it using the system. Civil penalties were the things I discussed before. There are some more higher end things here. I'm not going to really cover today, but as you're going through here, you can see that there are a lot of options for when you're making payments to what they can be applied to. So if we go back now to the actual payment thing, I'm going to go to pay individual tax. You're going to go to make a payment. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this because I'm not going to put my personal information in here, but I will walk through and let's do an estimated payment, okay? Please be careful at this screen to choose 1040 income tax if that's what you're paying, okay? If you do a 1040 healthcare, that is to pay for that would pay on an old not having insurance penalty, and you actually meant it to go on income tax, the IRS is not going to apply it to your income tax that's owed. So please be careful about what you choose here, okay? So we're going to click income tax to make an estimated tax payment. We're going to go right here, and the year now is 2026, and we're going to hit continue, and then continue again. Okay, so before you can do anything, the IRS wants to verify your identity. Okay, so if you filed in the last 5 years, you're going to be able to use this system. If you haven't filed in the last 5 years, you need to file your tax returns anyways. But then once they process, you're going to be able to make payments using this system. So as an example, I'm going to choose 2024. The system is very good about telling to confirm certain things that you've done. And then you're going to choose your filing status, whether it was single, married filing joint, married filing separate, head of household, or qualifying widow or widower. So we'll just choose married filing joint here. Then you're going to put your name, your last name, confirm your last name. You're going to put your social security number in twice. You're going to put in your birth date, then your address, and then finally, you're going to have to click this button down here, and then you can continue to actually making the payment, okay? One thing to realize about this identity screen is that if the IRS doesn't like what you're putting in there, you're not going to have the ability to make a payment. The IRS is doing everything that they can to prevent taxpayer fraud and people stealing your identity and different things like that. So this screen is very important. Once you get past this screen, that is when the IRS is going to go into basically verifying again that you're making an estimated tax payment. You'll put in your bank routing number and account number, and then you'll basically just have to sign it with your name, and then go and submit it. One thing you're going to get on that next screen is a thing that asks you for your email address. Always put your email address in there, because then that confirmation of that payment will be sent to your email, and then you can go and save that email. That will also give you a confirmation payment as well. Now, as we have the time here, I am going to go back and let's just go back to the business one and pay business tax. Now, once again, um, we're going to have to make a payment screen, but let's look at the type of business tax payments. Okay, so right here, you could pay. Now right here. Um, you can go and pay all these different types of payroll taxes. I will warn you that for things that are normally paid through the EFTPS system, I would advise you to still use the EFTPS system. I use this for business clients more to pay on back stuff or to make a payment like on a payment agreement. But as you can see, there's a lot of different business forms that you can pay using this. Let's go back here and go to pay business tax, make a payment. And we're going to go through, we'll just choose 941 here. The reason, we're just going to say we owe it. And then we're going to say it's from, we're going to do 2025. And because it's a 941 quarterly return, we're going to pick a quarter. So let's just do quarter one. And then we're going to go to the next page. Okay. Once again, you're going to have to fill in certain stuff to verify the business identity. Okay. And you see, unlike the personal one, you're not putting your social security number in here. You're putting your business title, the business name, confirming the business name, the employer identification number, and confirming that, and then your address. You know, if you're ever in doubt when you get to this screen, not only for this, but also for the personal one, make sure to go and just grab an IRS notice or a prior tax return, and that'll give you the information that you're looking for. Sometimes if your name is long enough or the business name is long enough, the IRS is going to cut off certain characters. This way you know exactly where to put it in here, because this system is not going to allow you to use it unless everything is perfect. So I hope this really helped you today in terms of using IRS Direct Pay, and the different options that you have. I always recommend using this if you can, because making electronic payments to the IRS nowadays is the safest, fastest, and most reliable ways to make payments to the IRS. If you ever owe tax debt and you don't know what to do, please visit our website at www.altataxrelief.com. I'll go and type it in here for you now so you could take a look. And this is my website here, okay, which really goes through a lot about what we do for people. And we offer a lot of different services when it comes to tax resolution here. One of the things with our website that I did want to point out, you're going to see this chat feature here. There's actual live people that actually answers those chats to get in contact with me or to schedule a consultation. So if you really don't want to call on the phone, you do have the ability to use this chat feature here. You're also going to see when you hit contact us, you could call us, but then also here, you can actually go and fill out our screen here to get a free consultation. Once you fill this out, this is going to come directly to me. I'll know that you've contacted me, and then I'm going to reach out to you to actually go and to schedule it. Over here, I have a button that says consultation. Okay. That's actually what it's going to go through and really tell you different frequently asked questions about how the consultation works and things like that. The main thing is, if you owe a lot of IRS tax debt, what I'm generally saying, at least $10,000. Most of my clients owe anywhere from 25,000 to $1 million. You really need to make sure that you have a plan to figure out what you're going to do with this tax debt to prevent the IRS from garnishing you and taking enforcement actions against you. It's always better to be preemptive and for you to be controlling the situation. If the IRS ever goes and garnishes you, you're going to be in a situation then that you're not going to be able to call the shots. Okay? If the IRS hasn't done anything yet, that's the time to investigate this, figure out your options, and then try to get them in place. Thank you very much for watching this video today. Please subscribe for future videos. And if you get a chance, please check out my Instagram page. Um, I have used AI as a tool to make some pretty interesting posts. So if you ever need something to kind of give you a smile or something, please check out my Instagram posts. And if you like them, please give me a like. Thank you very much and have a great day.